Hello, everyone. This is Mary Esther-Gilbert back again with the True Health Mastery Institute of Holistic Personal Health Management. And tonight we will be talking about poisons in your toothpaste. And also, I will be discussing the alternatives, the safe toothpaste ingredients, and perhaps maybe you can just make the switch because when I get through telling you what's in your toothpaste, you're going to be afraid of it. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. All righty.
Hi, Mary. This is Carol Williams.
Hi, Carol. We've just started the recording. You are on the air.
Okay. I'll be quiet.
That's okay.
I just got
Okay.
home.
All right. Good. Yeah, I'll
I have
switch
to
the
leave because
time.
I'm very tired. So thank you. I'm glad to be back, dear.
Oh, it's excellent to have you here.
Thank you,
All
dear.
right. So I just started, so I'll go ahead and let everybody know again. So this week's topic is poisons in your toothpaste, safe toothpaste ingredients, and how you can make that switch. And as I just said, when I present the information to you tonight about what could be in your toothpaste, you're going to be afraid of your toothpaste, okay? And I'll give you all the reasons why you should be. So I will tell you what the great alternatives are out there that you can get, and that way you don't have to worry about anything entering your bloodstream and causing all sorts of havoc in your system. People don't always associate their health issues with things like this, things they're putting on their body, their cosmetics, things they're using around the home, like cleaning supplies, the food that they're buying. They don't know that the accumulation of toxins can truly bring about some very serious health problems, and toothpastes are only one of them. All right, so if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. And if you like what you hear tonight, please like, share, subscribe, tap that notification bell. I produce very highly informative videos every single week for my members and for the public. Um, so if you tap that notification bell, you'll be notified, and that happens every single week. Okay. All right. So this is how you save your own life. You're going to be introduced to only the scientific truths, the real scientific truths, the verifiable science. Okay. This is a huge difference when you're looking for information. You need to be able to distinguish the facts from fiction. And that's also what people learn here. All right, so let's get going on this. So now, the mouth's oral mucosal tissues and the rapidly absorbed toxic ingredients. So inside of the mouth, you have these tissues, and they're very thin membranes in those cells, and they can absorb nutrients, and they also sometimes drugs are administered through the mouth. They're possibly like under the tongue, and those membranes are even thinner than inside the cheeks. So that's how a lot of things are administered so they can enter the bloodstream very, very rapidly. Toothpaste is one of those things. They're in touch with the gums, right? And and of course, the cheek and underneath the tongue. So all those tissues will absorb the chemicals that are in your toothpaste. All right. So the absorption of drugs occur readily in the human oral cavity. Humans get daily exposure to the additives in toothpaste and other oral products that contain toxic chemicals. We're going to be going over these toxic chemicals. Unfortunately, cautions about their health hazards are not in public domain. So this information is not available to the public. It's if you dig for it, if you know where to find it, then it is available, but not everyone knows how to search for the true scientific facts. So, as I always say, whenever you're doing your homework and you're researching something on the internet and you want some factual information, you want to bypass all the misinformation and the disinformation, type in your search term and then type in the word science journal after it. And that way you will see the true science and the worldwide scientific research that's going on whatever it is that you're trying to research, right? Okay, so that's the best way to get the truth very quickly. The best way to protect one's health is to use products with ingredients proven to be safe and do not threaten your health. The oral mucosal membrane has high absorption capacity. Chemicals that enter those tissues are readily absorbed into the bloodstream. Although small portions of toothpaste are used daily over time, it adds up to significant amounts of toxins. And as always, I cite the name of the group of scientists right here at the right in the text. So at the end of this document, I always list the complete proper, scientific reference citation so that people can look at what the scientists have said. So here's a photograph, or I should say image, of the oral mucosal tissues. So underneath the tongue is where it's the thinnest, right? So that's where the nutrients or substances get absorbed very quickly. Also, the side of the cheek, inside the cheek. Uh, so that's another area, where you can absorb the nutrients or the substances that get into your bloodstream very, very quickly. So most popular toothpaste brands contain toxic ingredients. They contain, and I'm going to be naming these toxins so that you can check your toothpaste tubes and see what's in your toothpaste. And you are going to be horrified if you don't know this stuff already. So fluoride, now there's been so much scientific debate over this for many, many years, and it has one useful, attribute, but the rest of the information on fluoride is horrifying. Okay, and I've gone over the fluoride in another video in another context. So, if you explore my YouTube channel, you'll run across some of these things that I've talked about before within other subject areas. So fluoride is an enzyme inhibitor, has a toxic and disruptive effect on all of your trillions of cells functions. Your cells are constantly working to keep you alive. And there are literally multiple trillions of functions that each cell in your body does. And we have multiple trillions of cells. That's a huge number that compose your entire body. Studies show it induces oxidative stress, which means things are breaking down, causing free radical activity, anything that is bad for the body, no matter what kind of molecule it is. If it's damaging your body, then it's called a free radical. So it causes free radical activity, inflammation, just damaging your DNA. And it causes an imbalance in cell biochemical homeostasis. So when your body's always trying to maintain this biochemical balance, then things like this can go in the body and disrupt that balance and cause your body to go into this inflammatory response. So that cascade effect has been known to cause the body to produce stress chemicals. If you have toxins in your body, then more stress chemicals are in the mix. And so all this chain reaction of inflammation is happening in the body. It can alter the genes in your DNA, your very genetic code that operate your whole entire body, and cause cell destruction or apoptosis. So apoptosis is one of those terms that I think people should be familiar with. Anything that causes apoptosis means a cell is being damaged. If you have a cancer cell that's imploding on itself and causing its own apoptosis, then that's good, right? But if you are healthy and you are putting something in your body, whether you know it or not, what the extent of that damage is, it's causing your cells to be apoptotic or self-destruct. All right, so the idea is to keep our cells alive and replicating and functioning optimally at all times. Now, here's another one, sodium lauryl sulfate. And it's not only in toothpaste. Start reading your labels, everybody, because this one is horrible. It's actually like a detergent in toothpaste. In vitro studies, which means in the laboratory, studies show toxic effects on the oral mucosa and gingiva gum tissues. So you've got these cell cultures that scientists keep alive to test on various things, right? They have cancer cells that have been kept alive, and they test them against all these different mediums to see if something destroys cancer or makes it grow more, right? So sodium lauryl sulfate has been tested in the laboratory that way. It's known as one of the most cytotoxic components in toothpaste. Cytotoxic meaning toxic to your cells. So the coca midopropylbutane, it's a foaming agent. People love when your toothpaste starts foaming. There are reports of allergic reactions after some use of some toothpaste brands. So this is something to watch out for, especially if your toothpaste has multiple, ones of these multiple ingredients that are listed here. Preservatives. Paraben, that's a known carcinogen, and it causes cancer. That's what carcinogen means, if you didn't know that. Sodium benzoate, now that's a very tricky one. There's a lot of good press about that, good scientific data about that. It's a preservative that appears to be, kind of not harmful, but there is some research that shows that it can cause anaphylactic shock, a severe life-threatening allergic reaction requiring immediate medical attention. If anyone out there is allergic to nuts or anything else, and their throat swells up, their tongue swells up, and they can't breathe, they need immediate emergency attention, right? If they don't have an EpiPen or anything that will reduce that immediately, so they need medical attention. So sodium benzoate there's been cases where that occurs as well. So if a person is taking in all kinds of products into their body and they're taking in a lot of sodium benzoate and they happen to be allergic to things, they have severe allergic reactions to certain things, then that can occur as well. Other ingredients like menthol, sometimes we have these ingredients that are present in plants, but also there's the synthetic versions of these, and the synthetic versions are always the culprits for causing all these problems. So there's menthol that can cause allergy, limonene can cause cavities, benzoic acid and its derivatives, the parabens also. They're low toxicity, used in safe amounts, and are antimicrobial. So, once in a while, the scientists test various substances and they come up with, okay, this one seems to be all right. All right, so here's the other group of scientists that have declared this information. Okay, now sorbitol, that can inhibit bacterial growth, although can be slowly fermented by and therefore feed some bacteria. So if it can be fermented by the bacteria in their gut, then you've got some problems. And if it's going to nourish the bacteria that causes illness, then there's definitely going to be some problems. It can also increase populations of certain beneficial oral bacteria in the gut that inhibit things that cause disease, pathogens associated with gum disease. Okay, so it might as well be a sugar because it has the same or similar effects. It has a low cariogenic potential for preventing cavities, and that's one good plus about sorbitol. It can prevent cavities. So the daily exposure of toxic additives in oral products. Let's look at some additives. We have sodium lauryl sulfate. It's a foaming lather detergent that removes dirt and grease from the teeth. It causes tooth sensitization and interferes with the function of taste buds by breaking up phospholipids. So these are little fats that the body has circulating in the system. They have, their purpose, right, to contribute toward your optimal functioning. So the phosphorus element, the mineral, when it combines with the molecular structures of fats or lipids, then this is a very necessary function for the body. But the sodium lauryl sulfate has been known to break up those phospholipids. So of course it's going to have some side effects, right? Some inflammatory reactions. You may not notice it right away, but still it's over time it can accumulate. Here's something else the sodium lauryl sulfate does. It irritates the oral tissues. It can cause canker sores, oral ulcers. It can cause stomach problems. It's a carcinogen, cancer causing. It contains traces of 1,4-dioxane, classified as a Group B carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, and it's toxic to the environment, to aquatic life. Flavorings, we've got all these synthetic artificial flavors out there, and I just did a video on that not too long ago, so please search that one out on this channel. You've got to know the difference between the natural food-derived flavorings and the very terrible synthetic flavorings that are out there. Scientists sometimes have been known to say that the synthetics, molecularly speaking, are the same, but not really, because they are lacking so many different components at that micro level that are just not present in the synthetics. Flavor additives like oils and extracts, or the synthetics. So you've got the natural ones and you've got the synthetics. So please stay away from the synthetics. Sweeteners. Now here's a real problem too. So I've gone over sweeteners in a different video, but this has to do with what's in your toothpaste. So look at your toothpaste tubes, everyone, and see if you have any of these in there. So aspartame is one. It's known to be converted in the body to poisonous methanol and formaldehyde. Those are very toxic substances. Side effects include migraine, dizziness, vertigo, seizures, nausea, numbness, muscle spasms, joint pain, weight gain, and rashes. It also has been known to cause depression, fatigue, irritability, anxiety, and insomnia. So that says it attacks the nervous system and the hormonal system that regulate your moods. Vision problems, hearing loss. So it's deteriorating your microcirculatory system. Memory loss, brain tumors, heart palpitations, birth defects. It can lead to Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, lymphoma, Parkinson's disease, and fibromyalgia. And again, this is the extensive scientific research that has been done all over the world on these chemicals. Okay, so another sweetener is sucralose and xylitol. These additives can cause irritation to the oral tissues and trigger heartburn. Who doesn't accidentally swallow some of their toothpaste when they're brushing, right? All right, so sodium saccharin. Saccharin is a petroleum-based sweetener made from crude oil. Why would you want to put gasoline-type products into your system? You know how toxic that can be. Who doesn't know that, right? It's 350 times sweeter than cane sugar and is an effective toothpaste sweetener for masking other strong-tasting chemicals. Okay, so it's a terrible substance, right? That's the toxins that are in your toothpaste. The saccharin, the sodium saccharin, can mask those terrible tastes. It's found to be a cancer-causing agent. Again, that's the overwhelming evidence, the scientific evidence that's been done on these. So diethylene glycol, it's the most toxic sweetener in toothpaste. It's made in China, but because it caused so many problems in China, deaths, cancers, you name it, there was a public protest, and once that word got out to the rest of the world, people did not want that ingredient in their foods or in their toothpaste or anything at all, right? So there was a public worldwide outcry on that, so it was definitely banned. So now you go into the artificial dyes and colorings. Toothpaste looks so pretty, right? These blue synthetic dyes, blue number 1, F, D, and C, blue number 2, green number 33, red number 30, yellow number 5. So the F, D, and C blue number 2 may be related to learning and behavioral issues like hyperactivity in children, severe allergic reactions, other health conditions, including cancer. Then you have this fluoride thing again. Okay, this is another group of scientists that present even more information than I did earlier from the other group. They say that almost all conventional toothpaste sold in the US contain fluoride. If you look at the labels when you're buying toothpaste, and if you want to avoid fluoride, make sure the label says contains no fluoride. The health risk is high in children. It can cause permanent tooth discoloration, stomach irritations, skin rashes, glucose metabolism impairments. So who knows? That implies that it could be a link to diabetes. All right, so a toxic chemical also it accumulates in the body's tissues, and that results in neurological and endocrine or glandular, therefore hormone dysfunctions, especially in children. So there is a high probability of fluoride reactions with chlorine in water. If you drink tap water, you've got chlorine in that water. And if you brush with your, fluoride, or if you take fluoride, treatments and you drink the tap water, then that mixture, it can cause a heavy carcinogen called chloroform. So toothpaste containing fluoride are toxic if large amounts are swallowed, leading to fluorosis in children over 12 months. So young children, of course, they're going to be swallowing that yummy tasting toothpaste, right? It's a huge red flag for your growing children. Fluoride ingestion can lead to nausea and vomiting. So let's talk about the antimicrobials. They impair the oral bacterial growth. So the additives that are used as antimicrobials are called hexatidine/zinc citrate, a different variation of the nutrient, triclosan. Now there's growing concerns of endocrine disruption leading to breast, ovarian, prostate, testicular cancers, preterm and low birth weight infants, early puberty in girls, undescended testicles in boys, weakened heart muscle function, and bone deformation. May interfere with cell signaling in the brain, heart, and other cells. So that electrical communication that should not be hindered or impaired in the body, that's what some of these additives are known for, to disrupt. They may promote the progression of breast cancer. FDA banned triclosan in soaps, but yet it's still allowed in toothpaste. Come on, consumers, get out there and make your protests. We can expose companies so quickly now on the internet just by posting it on our social media sites or wherever you have uh, influence in groups. You can just spread the word out there. We cannot allow these kinds of poisons to destroy humanity's health any longer. It's getting to the point where there's just too many deaths, and it's you cannot ignore it anymore. It's like a pandemic, right? So now we have amyloglucosidase, glucose oxidase, another toxin, sodium fluoride, sodium monofluorophosphate. All right, so these are the antimicrobials. Sure, they kill the bacteria, but they also kill a lot of other things, right? So now we have abrasives that are in toothpaste. They're used to remove debris, surface stains, and they can lead to sensitive teeth and receding gums. Things like silica, sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. Now, baking soda can be a very good healthy component if you mix it with a healthy toothpaste. But if you use it by itself, then you're going to wear down your gums. It's very abrasive, really. Calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate, alumina. You do not want any kind of aluminum derivative in your system. Marble, eggshells, those are extremely, very abrasive, right? So also there's the thickening agents, things like carrageenan. Now, this is a natural thing that is used in some supplements, but it has its place in the toothpaste world. It may cause potentially inflammation in the intestine, may lead to colonic tumors. If you have a very healthy diet and you're fully nourished, you're taking in the full range of all known vitamins and minerals. You're taking in plenty of food from the plant kingdom, especially the raw foods. You've got all of those active nutrients that are protecting your body. Then a little bit of carrageenan in something is not going to hurt you. But if you're not eating healthy and you're not receiving all those essential nutrients that your body needs all the time, every day, then something like this can add up. Carrageenan could be a contributing factor to so many problems, and even colonic tumors. Cellulose gum, guar gum, xanthan gum, these are natural gums, right? Gluten also. So a lot of people eat too much wheat, which has a lot of gluten, but they're also leaving out the fiber. People who take in 100% whole grain wheat in their whole grain products, they're not going to have a problem like this. But if you eat white flour and all that gluten is so concentrated, there's no fiber to help sweep that away in your intestines, then you're going to damage your intestines, and it can lead to celiac disease. Okay, humectants, they prevent toothpaste from drying out. Glycerol, that's something that's not too bad. Propylene glycol, that's a horrific one. It's used as a surfactant. It's known to be a lung, eye, and skin irritant. Causes organ toxicity and cancer. Causes reproductive tissue and skin irritation. Then we have sorbitol and xylitol. Okay, so let's go over the xylitol. Sorbitol, there's some problems with that too, but xylitol, okay, let me go ahead and do this. Provides moisture, prevents cavities, and has not been found to cause any harm to teeth, is more effective than fluoride. So xylitol is one of the good ones. It's been around for years, and there's never been any reports of any toxicity whatsoever. And the scientists have tried to make sure that is the case, and it happens to be one of the good ones, okay? And it's more effective than fluoride. So fluoride, with all of its horrific, things that it does to the body, fluoride just it can put more minerals into your teeth, right? That's a good thing. But all the other things it does for the body, it's just horrifying. So the xylitol does everything the fluoride does and no side effects. Now we've got white pastes. So they contain the titanium dioxide that has allergenic potential. Polyethylene glycol, anything that ends with ethylene and glycol, that's a warning flag. Do not buy anything with that stuff in it. I mean, you can find it in anywhere. You can find it in stevia, right? That white powder sweetener that everyone loves. If it's not organic, it's going to contain some of the glycols or the ethylenes in it. And also it's in a lot of other things, just watch the labels, start reading your labels. Hypersensitivities have been reported for allergenic reactions, and that's putting it mildly. All right, so let's go over the preservatives. So we've got Sodium benzoate is generally recognized as safe or GRAS, by the FDA, an antimicrobial that inhibits growth of bacteria, mold, and yeast. So it has its good points, like I said earlier. But if someone is sensitive to all these toxic chemicals, then that's another contributing factor. Potentially may form benzene in the stomach, a chemical linked to cancer when combined with the often synthetic form of vitamin C, ascorbic acid. When you buy your supplements, buy a whole food supplement that includes whole food vitamin C sources. Why isolate something that's synthetic like that and can cause a lot of aggravation and inflammation in the body? FDA established an acceptable daily intake of up to 5 milligrams per kilogram of body weight per day. So a kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Do the math. All right, so methylparaben and ethylparaben, they mimic the estrogen hormone, and they can potentially cause cancer, can possibly cause developmental and reproductive problems. Again, there's these synthetics. They're not the same as the natural form. Diethanolamine. It's a known hormone disruptor. It reacts with other ingredients, forming a potential carcinogen, N-nitroso-DEA. That is readily absorbed through the skin. It's linked to cancers of the stomach, the esophagus, liver, and bladder. It's ranked as a number 10, a most toxic score by the Environmental Working Group's cosmetic database due to high concerns of organ toxicity, concerns of contamination, irritation, and cancer risk. Look at all of the cancer risks just in one tube of toothpaste. Microbeads, okay? That fad went away very quickly, and this is why. So these are tiny plastic pellets. They enter the water sources and contaminate ecosystems. They absorb the environmental toxins and are eaten by the aquatic life, subsequently entering the human food chain. So you may be ingesting these tiny plastic pellets. Reportedly are present in patients' teeth and gums. They create spaces of bacterial growth leading to gum disease. Polylactic acid, it's a biodegradable microplastic, and it's replacing microbeads, but it can also cause gum diseases. So one replacement isn't necessarily, the safe version of something. Other toothpaste additives, tetrasodium pyrophosphate removes calcium and magnesium from saliva, which reduces tartar deposits. Okay, that may or may not be good. It depends on how much calcium, magnesium it removes from the mouth, right? Whiteners, sodium carbonate breaks down into bleaching peroxides that bleach tooth enamel. Sodium hydroxide, pentasodium triphosphate, arginine, acrylic polymers. So these are varying forms of whiteners. Like alcohol, it dehydrates the oral cavity, causing dryness and contributes to gingivitis, inflammation of the gums. Nicotine. So companies are starting to look at the possibility of putting nicotine in the toothpaste, but it can lead, it's got addictive potential. Everyone knows that. Oral mucosal and precancerous lesions. People who chew tobacco, they've gotten mouth cancers, right? Gingival recession or receding gums, loss of gum tissue. Why would a company want to even consider it, right? Cardiovascular risk, causing diabetes, mellitus, and messes with your pancreas. What? Reproductive health problems, rapidly crosses the placental barrier, has toxic effects on the fetus. Increased death rates. Forget that. We need to make sure that our products that we're buying are not going to kill us. Found in some toothpaste for reducing teeth sensitivity. Okay, more toxins. Strontium chloride causes serious eye damage, skin and respiratory irritation. If you're overwhelmed right now, I'm sorry, but you've got to know the truth. Potassium nitrate, if swallowed in large amounts, can potentially cause methemoglobinemia, affecting oxygen transport in the blood, leading to dizziness, headache, a blue tint to the skin. May include irritation or allergic reactions such as itching, rash, and swelling. Notice all of these scientific references here. Arginine, that's an amino acid, right? You would think that that should be okay. Why they put it in there requires a lot more research, or we can just look at what the scientists mentioned. This is all information taken from these scientific research studies. Calcium sodium phosphosilicate, and they cause discoloration of tooth enamel. Sodium polyphosphate used in minimizing tartar formation, chlorhexidine used in controlling plaque and gingivitis. So, these may or may not be, the jury is probably still out on some of these ingredients. So let's go on here. Toothpaste delivery of drugs in medical methodologies. So now I've given you the information that's in toothpaste, right? Please check your toothpaste tubes. I'm going to show you in a moment the replacement toothpaste that are actually good for you. All right, so toothpaste delivery of drugs. I just want to mention that the medical community has been using toothpaste to deliver drugs in patients. So the head, neck, and face, it has a higher blood circulation compared to the rest of the body. And some drugs are administered sublingually underneath the tongue since they have rapid delivery and pharmacological effects, and they bypass the liver metabolism. So the liver doesn't have to detoxify anything. All right, toothpaste have been used to deliver drugs through the oral buccal tissues that's inside the cheek. Commercial toothpaste can be replaced with those produced by holistic-minded companies with safe ingredients. Some of these ingredients include coconut oil that inhibits acid-producing oral bacteria. So if you eat sugar, it's going to produce that acid that wears down the enamel and causes tooth decay. Clay is also being put in these formulations. Salt and baking soda mixed in with other safe compounds, and that's considered to be the best tooth cleaners. Stevia. So the stevia extract, if you make sure it's an organically derived stevia, then you won't get the toxic polyethylene glycols and things like that are in other stevias. So a good toothpaste a good company, a conscientious company that sincerely wants to put out healthy products, then you'll get to know the names of the products, the names of the companies that put out products like this. Stevia is one good. It's great for destroying bacteria as well. Essential oils such as peppermint. Essential oils are, if you use the safe ones, the ones that aren't synthetic and the ones that aren't adulterated with other toxic chemicals. If you use the organic essential oils, then you have to do your research, of course, to make sure that the essential oil you're going to be putting on your toothbrush is going to be safe for you, because some essential oils can be very, very difficult on the body. They can be very toxic. That's why they're mostly safe when you use them topically and not internally. Peppermint is very safe, though, and so is lemon. Okay, so researchers indicate that toothpaste may be used to deliver antibiotics for battling fatal lung diseases like cystic fibrosis with positive results, as well as pulmonary or lung infections and diseases. Antibiotics are added to toothpaste for treating oral and dental diseases. I guess dentists are doing that as well. Okay, so I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not advocating this. I just wanted to report that, in the medical industry, they are using toothpaste as well to deliver drugs. Okay, and please do not try to deliver any drug on your own. Don't put that on your toothpaste. Please go through your medical professional and make sure that it's done correctly. All right, so here are some safe toothpaste ingredients. Switching to a non-toxic toothpaste, and there are some awesome products out there. So here's some ingredients. Theobromine. This is a primary alkaloid derived from the Theobroma cacao plant, which is the chocolate plant. It includes its leaves and can also be derived from tea and other foods. So theobromine is a phytochemical compound found in plants. So it can prevent caries, and has the same remineralization effect like fluoride does, but without causing any toxicity. And this is extensive research that I found on theobromine. This is so exciting. It has been found to improve the hardness of the tooth enamel surface, so it helps remineralize the teeth. Does not have fluoride's many damaging and toxic health effects, like the dark stripes on the teeth, the tooth loss, decreased intelligence in children and adults. If it affects children, it's going to affect adults. Early aging, abortion, brittle bones. So we do not want fluoride for so many reasons when we can have theobromine. So now there's been a lot of research done on a type of coffee plant, not your typical cup of coffee, that kind of coffee bean. This is a different plant. It looks entirely different than the coffee bean plant that everybody drinks, right? So this is called, the Latin term is called Coffea canephora. It's a different kind of coffee plant. It's high in the phytochemical compound called polyphenols. Now, this is a huge classification of phytochemical compounds that have so many health benefits for so many different body systems. So This plant has been found to potentially prevent oral diseases, particularly those related to teeth-damaging bacterial microfilms. So, as you know, this microfilm forms on the teeth, especially overnight, and it can cause a lot of dental problems as well. So, they're testing it out on those kinds of films. It can prevent Streptococcus mutans bacteria that contribute to dental caries it keeps it from adhering to the teeth, right? So manufacturers produce toothpaste containing caffeine for its antibacterial and effects, although studies show that caffeine does not improve tooth mineralization. So that's a big, decision if you want to make that for yourself. I always thought coffee stained the teeth. Maybe this plant is different. Okay. Hydroxyapatite, the main structural component of tooth enamel and bone mineral. So hydroxyapatite is an actual natural component of your teeth. So for that to be in a toothpaste, that's going to be hand in hand. It's going to be very absorbable, very utilizable, and very safe. Something the body just recognizes, right? So when you lose this part of your tooth, the hydroxyapatite from the tooth structure, it can lead to irreversible destruction of enamel and dentin, the hard bone-like tissue between the enamel and the tooth pulp. So toothpaste with hydroxyapatite particles have shown improvement in the tooth surface. Remineralization process has been shown to deposit and restore demineralized enamel surfaces, are being examined as a fluoride-free anti-caries agent, and in current live human studies in vivo, it's very, very promising. It's a source of critical minerals, calcium and phosphate. It's found to produce whitening, increased brightening effects, has shown no risk of fluorosis. Those are those white or brown spots or lines on the teeth caused by fluoride as a result of excessive fluoride exposure. Decreased teeth hypersensitivity compared to fluoride. That means it's remineralizing the teeth. Hydroxyapatite toothpaste can be considered as an alternative for young children to avoid concerns about fluoride, says this group of scientists here. Daily proper brushing and flossing, a highly nourishing fresh foods diet, and minimizing or eliminating refined sugars ensure healthy gums and teeth. Okay, raw foods with all those wonderful healing and cleansing phytochemical compounds that are in the plant kingdom and all these wonderful array of plants that we can eat when they're raw, especially, and the high water content on these foods, and those phytochemicals that are bacteria destroying, are so very beneficial and very, very needed in the diet. So many people just don't eat enough of the plant kingdom, especially the raw foods. Alrighty, so I'm going to give you just a couple of examples of some really great toothpastes. These are my favorites, actually, my personal favorites. And after speaking with a couple of people who have been my clients, kind of thing, and discussions about toothpaste recently, I'm finding that people use these very same products. So you become a label reader and you become familiar with the good stuff versus the bad stuff. This is life-saving information that I think people need to know, right? And if you don't have time for it, well, that's your choice. And then you'll have to suffer the consequences later on, right? If you don't learn what's great for your body, then you're going to be ill. It's inevitable. And it can be devastating if it leads to the disease process. It's a downward spiral. It's a silent process sometimes. But, to know what's good for your body, you're going to guarantee yourself a long and healthy, happy life, right? All right, so here are the good ingredients. A lot of these are vegetable oils or, the good ingredients that I just mentioned above, like the stevia, right? The essential oils, sodium bicarbonate, all these different oils, menthol from the peppermint leaves. Again, it's from a whole peppermint leaf, right? Sodium chloride, zinc citrate, a good form of zinc, the thyme leaf oil as well. And the neem, if you don't know anything about neem, I'm going to show you a little bit about neem. It's one of the key components for regrowing your gums, okay? And all these different, food and fruit extracts, so they don't have sugar in them because it's only the phytochemical compound that's beneficial for your teeth that's been taken out of these whole foods. So, of course, you're not going to get any of the carbohydrates that are in these foods. You're just going to get the phytochemical compounds that are so beneficial. All right, so this is one. And those of you who are members, if you'd like to join as a member, I'll show you how to do that. And you have access to this document. You're seeing this video for free for the public, but those who are members get access to so much more information. So if you have this document, then you're a member and you can order this directly, and you can just have it sent to your home right away. So the Desert Essence, tea tree oil, and neem toothpaste, that's another great one. All right, so the key ingredients are the neem and the tea tree oil and the wintergreen oil. These are very potent antimicrobials. So, they like to brag that they're certifiably different. Um, non-GMO, all these no sodium lauryl sulfate, no artificial dyes or flavors, all these things that you want just to keep away from. Gluten-free, cruelty-free, and B Corp certified. That's a good distinction for a company to have. So these are the complete ingredients, in this one. Personally, I use both. I put them both on my toothbrush, and I use salt and soda. So you can't go wrong when you're cleansing your teeth to that extent. It's a very thorough cleanse on the teeth. My dentist loves it. I come in, they say, "Oh, you're doing so great." So it's good to get a dental, approval. But if you want to order this one, you can also order it here. Now, I'm an Amazon affiliate. I do get a very small commission on these things. But, when you're out there and you're trying to make it on your own and you're an entrepreneur, then every little bit counts, right? I'm definitely not wealthy, but every little bit helps. So if you could order that through these links, then I greatly appreciate the small commission I get if you order it through my affiliate Amazon site. This will take you to the Amazon site, but it has it points back to my website, right? All right, so this is what neem looks like up close. These are the leaves, and it's a very large tree. It's a beautiful tree, isn't it? So this is the scientific name, Azadirachta indica. It's an evergreen tree, and it has so many medicinal properties. It's used extensively in the Indian medical system, Ayurveda, Unani, and homeopathic medicine, found to be active against hepatitis, viral infections, malaria, and cancer. This is a very serious plant, right, or tree. If you ever tasted it, I did order a whole pound of neem powder, and I thought I'll just add it to my super drinks, right? Well, it's very overpowering and it's very, 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 very bitter. I can handle bitter. I've been taking botanicals forever, but this is the most bitter I have ever tasted. So for them to accomplish the fact that they put it in a toothpaste and it doesn't, make you cringe, that's quite an accomplishment. Okay, so also it destroys any kind of periodontal pathogens, any kind of bacteria that hang around the mouth, oral acidogenic bacteria, that cause dental caries and dental plaque. So it helps tone down the plaque. These are the properties of the neem: antibacterial, anti-cariogenic, anti-cavities, anti-helminthic, it expels parasitic worms. Anti-diabetic means it helps you control your blood sugar, helps the pancreas operate better and produce the insulin better. Antioxidant, so it prevents the deterioration of your cells. Astringent, reduces secretions, promotes wound healing, helps stop bleeding. Antiviral, cytotoxic means it induces cancer cell death. Anti-inflammatory. All right, so here are the phytochemicals that are in the neem. These are major classifications. There are many, many sub-classifications of the phytochemicals in the plant world. So these are just a few of them, and they are present in some other plants like the gallic acid, the epicatechin, the catechins. So, but these others here, the nimidinin and the others are just specific to the neem plant. So it's useful in dentistry for gingival problems and as a root canal irritant. Twigs are used as an oral deodorant, toothache relief and teeth cleansing, effective in many epidermal problems like acne, psoriasis, eczema. You take it internally, it'll cleanse your system, and therefore your cells don't have anything to detoxify, and those toxins don't have to come out through the skin, right? So you solve the problem internally. Neem leaves can contain various properties against inflammation, infections, fever, skin diseases, dental problems. It's reported to possess the following properties: anti-hyperglycemic, it helps your body, again, regulate its blood sugar; immunomodulatory, aids the immune system to do its job; anti-inflammatory, it attenuates all the inflammatory responses the body might have; anti-malaria, antioxidant, it keeps your cells younger; antiviral, anti-mutagenic, prevents tumors, all kinds of mutagens that happen that are pre-carcinogenic, right? Pre-cancerous, anti-carcinogenic. It's been shown to destroy cancer cells both in vivo and in vitro. Antifungal, hepatoprotective, protects the liver, helps the liver detoxify itself and keeps it from becoming overloaded with toxins. Anti-ulcer, it's a very tissue repairing, kind of plant. Anti-infertility, so that goes into the hormonal system, helping to cleanse maybe synthetics that are stuck in the glands that interfere with fertility. Anti-nociceptive, it attenuates pain, a potentially harmful stimuli, so it keeps that attenuated as well. So regular brushing with toothpaste containing neem reduces plaque, prevents cavities, aids the immune system, and also frequent use of mouthwash containing neem extract lessens gum problems and resolves bad breath. Educating dental colleges about the use of neem-based oral care products would help dentists treat patients safely and more effectively without endangering their health. I had to put in my 2 cents there at the end. All right, so here are the scientific references that I have used to present this tonight. And like I said, if you are a member, then you can just click, you can download this PDF or access it in the member area of the True Health Mastery Institute site. And you can click on these and read these, what the scientists do. It's very fascinating to see the extent that they'll go, to prove something, whether it's valid or conclusive or not. So these are great. Most of them are peer-reviewed studies. So a lot of studies have been gathered together to form a report, that will confirm what all these different scientists have concluded. And so that's the best kind of scientific research data you can find. All right, so nobody questions the legitimate scientific community because they are producing proof. Okay, so I've written some books. I describe each one of my books at my website, so holisticchoices.com. You can just click on the side. There's all the links there. One of them says Books by Mary Esther Gilbert, and you can look at the video introductions that I make for each of my books, and I describe them as well. So yeah, if you want to improve your health, this is like a multiple college course, not college level necessarily, because I define terms all the time because the science of the human body and nutrition is very extensive. So I define terms as I go, and I also include, encyclopedia section, and especially in this Potent Superfoods book, there's 109 botanicals in there. So there's a very self-contained learning book in there. The system that I created has more categories than any other food system because you have to separate out all these different wonderful phytochemicals that different plants have and how they contribute to different body systems. So I had to create my own nutritional synergy system. And the synergy is what's the key. You can't isolate nutrients. You have to eat in whole food form. Even your supplements have to be whole food form. All right. And if you want to lose weight and become more lean and become more fit, then the Eating for Physical Power and Stamina is another book. True Health Mastery, if you're very, very new to the holistic health community, this is a good introductory book. It's a primer that'll prepare you for, knowing more about what it takes to be healthy. And there's a little supplement booklet that I put out some years back, and it still holds true today. All right, so those are the books that I've already published. There's more in the works, a lot more books that I'm writing in the works. So if you want to become a member of the True Health Mastery Institute, then you can just go to my website, holisticchoices.com, click on True Health Mastery Institute, and here you'll find all the information you need to decide whether you want to join. For $12.97 a month, you get this kind of information every single week, and you get your questions answered, and you have access to not just the documents that I produce every week that match these videos, but you also have a whole library of articles that I've written before. So all that is in your back area, in your private, member area at the True Health Master Institute site. So yeah, it's really easy to join. You just click, join here. It takes you to the sign up sheet. And there's 2 different things here in my store. You've got the Nutritional Synergy course. I have a course that goes with the book, or you can just select the monthly membership. You can quit at any time. I don't sign anybody up for more than 1 month at a time. So, if you just want to opt out, it's very easy. Just go in your back office, and it's right there on your first page. So you sign up, and then it'll take you to the sign up payment page and all that. and it's very easy and simple. You'll receive a link in your email so that you can access your member area at any time. And as long as the payments keep going through, you're a lifetime member. I hope to be around for many years to do this. Okay, so that's all I have for everyone tonight. I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. Members, please stay with me so we can have more discussion after I turn off the video. But you out there, please, again, like, share, and subscribe, and tap that notification bell. When you tap that like button, then that means that more people are going to view this video out there, and people are searching for information. They don't even know they need this information, right? And they have all these health issues, and there's so many great ways that the body uses nutrients in order to reverse conditions and recover from many conditions. This matches the science. When you have people with the results that match that kind of scientific research, then you've got something. Then you've got the answer. All right. So again, this is Mary Esther Miranda Gilbert, nutritional physiologist and holistic nutritional healing specialist, signing off. And I will see you all the next time. Thank you.